You've seen towns like this, where all you can see is one brand. This one was called Temple. The hotel, saloon, barbershop, everything Temple. Not that I've got anything against one man owning so much real estate. Sometimes it works out just fine. Sometimes it doesn't.
Well, as I live and breathe, if it ain't Will Fetter.
Well, how about that? In town and doing the marketing. Thought that was women's work.
You ought to make a skirt out of that flour sack, Will. Them pants are a little deceiving, ain't they?
I don't want no trouble with you fellas.
Trouble? You asking for trouble, Will?
No, I ain't asking for trouble. I ain't asking for anything.
No, Will, I guess you ain't.
Let me buy.
That yours?
You know what it is.
Yeah, it's a shame, Will. Pretty little rig like that all run down. Got to give it a coat of paint. Yellow, maybe?
Let me buy.
Like you say, it's your rig. Oh, gee, Will.
My flower!
Come on, fellas, let's clean it up for him.
Oh, come on, get away! You're getting dirty!
Don't get any dirt in it, fellas.
Have a little straw. Oh, you're getting dirt in my flower. Saddle back,
Careful you don't get hurt.
Come on, fellas.
Three to 1. The odds are a little better now.
You're playing it alone. You'll get no help from him.
All right, what'll it be, one at a time or both at once?
You know what's good for you, mister?
I never seem to somehow.
All right. All right.
Ned?
You talking to me, mister?
Aren't you Ned Techman?
Name's Fetter.
Red, see he gets back to the ranch.
Ten years ago, down Cheyenne way.
You got the wrong party. I ain't never been in Cheyenne. You can call off your hounds, Temple. Chew me up all you want to, but you're not gonna push me off that land.
Cattle starving, place going to dust. The way you run it, you're not even fit to be on that land.
That don't happen to be the way I see it.
I told you what I'd give you for it. $2 an acre, that's a fair enough price.
Not 2 an acre nor 20.
I want that land.
No!
I've never made any bones about it.
No, do you understand? And I'm warning you, Temple, you stay away from there.
Go on. Tell me what you do. I'd be real interested to find out.
Here. Here.
Sure.
Well, that's a waste of good whiskey. Depends on what you use it for.
Joe, give me the bottle. There's quite a show you put on out there.
I'd heard you were good with a gun, but your fists.
You are Vint Bonner, aren't you?
Sure.
Yep, quite a show.
That depends on how you look at it.
You mean Will? Let me tell you about that. People around here don't particularly care for Will Fetter. He's as yellow a coward as a man can get. You can call him names, insult him. You'll just stand there and take it.
Where I come from, a coward is a man you leave alone. Unless he's got something you want.
Well, there isn't much in this region I don't already have.
You'd be Temple. I should have known.
Where are you headed, Bonner?
Pine Valley?
Oh, yeah. They pay top wages up there, I understand. 20 a month, bunk and board. I'll pay you 30.
30?
In advance. You like my deal, you stay. You don't, you keep your 30 and you're on your way.
Your payroll seems full enough. Why ask me?
Can always use a good man. All right. Let's say I make it 40.
You go after a man. You go after a man to get him, don't you?
If he's worth it. Well?
That fellow, Will Fetter.
What about him?
I knew a man who was a spitting image of him. Named Techman. Real nice fella. But a real heller when he gets started.
You haven't given me your answer.
Tell me something, Mr. Temple. Anyone ever turn you down?
Not for long, Mr. Bonner. Not for very long. Shall we go?
Temple seemed a fair man. Tough, but fair. Food was good, bunkhouse clean, and $40 a month was a lot of money. But the real reason I hung around was that I wanted to see my friend Ned Techman, who now called himself Will Fetter.
Even you aren't low enough to shoot a man in cold blood.
A lucky man, Will. I had this aimed right where your guts ought to be.
His calf, it's dead.
Usually ain't so generous with trespassers. You can call this a warning.
This is 2 in a week. How much am I supposed to take?
You mean how much is your wife supposed to take, don't you, Will? It ain't 2, it's 3. Me and Chavis found one across on the creek bed this morning. Must have got into some poison.
You know, you're really gonna have to do something about that fence of yours, Will. You ain't gonna have no stock left at all.
That fence was all right yesterday.
That was yesterday.
Honest. Honest, I'll...
Yeah, Will?
I'll...
That's right, Will. You cry. Pretty little calf like that ought to have somebody crying over it. Didn't you say so, Red?
I'd say so.
What about you, Bonner?
Rough a man up, push him around all right. But poison his cattle, cut his fences.
Well, I thought you ought to know.
I already know, Mr. Bonner. Fact is, I'm the one who gave the orders to cut down the fences and put the poison out.
Why?
I want Will Fetter's land.
You've got 30,000 acres and you want his 150. $40. Keep it.
All right, go on. Go on. You've seen Will Fetter's side. Hang mine.
Tell me what kind of a side you could possibly have.
This is temple land, Mr. Bonner. Do you have any idea what that means? I was 5 years old when I came here. Only it wasn't just me then. It was me, my mom, my pa, my 2 brothers. And what do we find? Rich, green meadows. Not a blade. It was all yellow and brown and dust. My pa is soft. He's all for going back. But not Ma. She makes us take it and work it. Makes us trench water from the hills. And our hands are raw. Still we dig and we work and we dig. And she keeps at us and it grows. We're fighting every kind of varmint you can think of, human and animal. But it keeps growing, and we keep it ours. And then the war. I go, my brothers go, but when I come back, I've got no brothers, I've got no Ma, I've got no Pa, and no land either. The year I leave, Ma dies and Pa takes over. Without her, she's nothing. You should have seen my land when I got back. People crawling over it just like ants and poking at it and poking at it.
So you set out to get it back?
Every piece. 20 years it takes me, but I get it back. They're willing to sell, I buy. They ain't, I push.
All except Will Fetter. He wouldn't push.
Don't you credit Fetter with anything like that. It's his wife who's holding out. Her land. Her Pa left it to her. The why she wants to keep it and will either is beyond my understanding. You ought to see it. I can stand on the ridge and look down on it, and there it is, smack in the middle of Temple Land. A smelly, brown island, dusty. You just have to see it. It's right back where it started 50 years ago. Then I think of my Pa, yellow like Will, and what he did to that land. Where are you going?
You said to seize land. That's where I'm going. It didn't take a thinking man to understand Temple's hatred for Will, or anyone he thought yellow or coward. Wrong about Will or not, they both had Temple's Pa to thank for that.
Get away from here. Isn't enough to tear down our fences, poison our herd. Now he's sending his men in here.
Nobody sent me, ma'am. I'm here on my own.
Don't tell me. What are you doing here?
I'd like to talk to your husband, ma'am.
Never mind my husband. I asked you, what do you want?
Oh, then I'd like to talk to you.
Go on, talk.
Well, ma'am, I don't talk so good with a gun pointed at me.
Will! Will! Will!
Hurt you, Mrs. Steckman.
All right, Bonner, what do you want here?
Now you know me.
It's all right, Sarah. Is the coffee on?
It's on.
I was feeding the bull. You better finish, honey. Still take it black?
You have got a good memory.
I ought to. We drank enough coffee together.
But to let them push you around, destroy your life, destroy your place, that's not the Techman that I knew.
The man you knew 10 years ago went to prison. Killed a man and got 20 years.
You broke out.
No, nothing like that. I was released 4 years ago. I'm on parole, Vin. One wrong move and I go back. Do you understand what I'm saying? It don't have to be my fault. Just crook my finger. Look cross-eyed, maybe. Make one mistake, just one.
Does your wife know?
Yeah, sure she knows. I tell you, Vin, without her, I'd...
Does anyone else know?
No one. I got a kid coming, Vin. That kid has got to have a chance.
Here, in this place?
It's got to be here. This is all we got.
Well, can't you do something? Fix the place up?
How?
Well, you've got two hands.
I've got two hands. And my wife's got two. And what do you think 4 hands can do with 150 acres when half the time I'm out there mending fences and burying cattle? You know how many bulls I got left, Vint? 1! I tell you, once that Temple starts, he don't let up.
Couldn't you get someone in, someone to help you out?
Oh, Vince, you're not listening to me. You haven't heard a thing I said. The word's out on me. I'm poison. I come in here sometimes at night alone when Sarah's asleep. And I picked this thing up, Vint. I load it. I think what it can do for me. Both ways. Then I start thinking about prison. And about going back. Then I think I'm in prison. I begin to wonder which is worse.
That's not the answer, Ned.
It's an answer. Not a good one, maybe. But it's all I got. You're not gonna tell him. Not Temple. No one. Now keep out of this, Vint. This one's mine. Whatever I do, it'll be my way.
It always was, Ned.
Will! The bull. They poisoned the bull. It's dead.
Bonner? I've been waiting for you. Want to talk to you. So you swallowed his whining, is that it?
He wasn't whining.
Not much he was, and I can guess what he said.
No, you can't. But there's something I'd like to tell you.
You ain't, Vint.
Well, looky there. If I don't see...
A gun, Temple, pointed right at your belly. Now, who'd ever believe a thing like that?
Ned, listen to me.
Shut up, Vint. I told you once, no more. Keep out of this.
Listen to him. Hey, don't he sound right powerful? For 2 red cents, I'd...
What, Temple? It's your turn. Tell me what.
Yes, sir. Tough. Real poison. Especially when he's got the drop on an unarmed man.
Give him your gun.
Ned, think what you're doing.
Give it to him!
No.
What's the matter, Will? Run out of sand so quick?
I'm gonna kill you, Temple.
Ned.
Sure you are. But not from out there. Come close. Get yourself a good clean shot.
All the things you've done to me, my wife.
Closer. Few feet closer.
My stock, my home.
There, that's the place. No man could miss from there.
You're talking yourself into a coffin, Temple.
I ain't talking myself into anything. Go on, Will. Pull it. Man wouldn't be afraid to pull that trigger.
Right where you are, all of you.
Kill him!
No, you won't.
Stay out of it, Bonner. I ain't asking to be saved for a thing.
Not you I'm saving.
Stay out of it.
What did you say Temple would do for us? Build a new fence?
And replace your herd. Start you off with a couple of milk cows.
George Temple said that.
Also loan you some money. Maybe to build a new room for the baby. That was my idea.
Will, a new room for the baby. Do you hear that?
Vent it. It just don't make sense, you know that. You cut up a man and prove him wrong. He comes after you with a shotgun. He doesn't hand out presents.
You proved a lot more than that to Temple. You proved to him that you belong on the land.
Even after you're telling him about my being in prison?
He won't tell anyone. He'll keep his word.
Well, what am I supposed to do? Just shake hands, Mr. Temple? No hard feelings? What say we just forget the whole little... You think I'd give him that after what he's put me through?
I don't know. That would take a pretty big man.
Will, if he meant what he said, then...
I don't care what he said. I'm not taking any handouts from Temple.
You always were a hard-headed cuss, but I never knew you to pass up a good thing.
It's mine to pass.
Not all alone, it isn't. That barn of yours is in bad shape. Comes the rain, it's gonna leak buckets.
I got buckets.
That's good, because you sure won't be needing them for milk without any cows.
Sarah?
Yes, Will?
Have you still got that blue dress?
Well, yes, somewhere, but
Well, get it on as fast as you can. I'll hitch up the buckboard.
And Mrs. Stackman, don't worry about dinner. If I know Mr. Temple, he'll ask you to stay.
Well, go on. You want that new room for the baby, don't you? It's going to be a race to get it built as it is. Not that fast. What are you grinning about?
Who's grinning?
Thanks, Vint.
I hope it's a boy.